In 2019, another creepypasta was born, and not just any creepypasta that usually comes up on Reddit, but from a thread posted on 4chan, and we all know about 4chan. I really don't think the site needs much explanation, like at all. It was posted on the paranormal board by an anonymous user. I couldn't find any clues or any pinpoints of who was behind the original post, but they asked for other users to, in quote, post disquieting images that just feel off, or in other terms, liminal images, which are basically pictures of places that would normally be occupied, but instead are empty, giving a sense of eeriness or discomfort. Yes, that was my definition. Followed by a laundry list of other users posting their pics of liminal spaces is a picture of what seems to be a tilted shot of a yellow colored hallway, and it resembles the inside of a house from the early to mid 1900s, except it seems like it never ends. Couldn't find any real reasoning of why somebody made a lore to this, but another anonymous user commented on the original thread with the story to the picture, claiming that one enters the backrooms when they quote unquote no clip out of reality in the wrong areas, which if you don't know what no clipping is, it's a video game reference originating from Doom, meaning when a player glitches through a physical wall or boundary and would end up somewhere you're not supposed to be. For example, let's say you reach for the door and you just fall through it, or like you go to take a seat and you just fall through the chair, or like when you hop in the bed but just like not land in the bed but fall into a different world. That's basically what it is. And you would end up in that same hallway I showed earlier in the intro. And yes, you can't escape this place, but you have to go through levels 0 through 2 first. Yo, I made a mistake here. You actually can escape through level 0. You just have to go through the no clip zone, but there's a slight chance you might not make it back to Earth, and I do mention this a little later in the video. And it gradually gets way harder as you progress through. Starting with level 0, which is the hallway depicted in the original photo. This level has all of the well-known characteristics of the backrooms, such as moldy carpet, monochromatic yellow walls, and buzzing fluorescent lights. And it also features these monsters called hounds, which are humanoid beings that move on all four, and they kind of remind me of the Rake the way they move and look. And to make it out of this, you have to enter the no clip zone, which could lead you back to Earth or lead you to level 1, and the no clip zone is usually at the end of the hallway, and that leads us to level 1 if you unfortunately don't make it back to Earth. This is also referred to as the Habitable Zone, and it gives off a warehouse kind of vibe with concrete floors and walls, with even dimmer fluorescent lights, which is much darker than level 0, and a low-hanging fog that turns into condensation, forming puddles on the floor. This level definitely has a lot more detail. It even has a supply of water that allows the inhabitants to drink and like stay alive. It not only has hallways, it also has staircases, elevators, and isolated rooms. The lights can flicker or turn off for minutes or even hours, and when this happens, hostile mobs may appear, and you don't want that at all. The good news is that they don't attack in groups and they avoid lights, almost like mobs in Minecraft. And basically just be careful when it's dark, like know where you're walking, know where you're going to, and all that. Some of the entities in level 1 are hounds, along with facelings, which are basically humans without any faces, and they wear like formal clothing, basically people that you will see like in public wearing like, you know, casual clothes or clothes that suits their occupation, people you will see in a general setting. There's adult facelings that normally appear by themselves, and there's child facelings that appear in groups of 2 to 3. From what it seems, it looks like the child facelings are more hostile than the adult ones, and they'll attack you if you encounter them. Next we have Duelers, which give off like a Slenderman vibe. They have long arms and long legs, just a long sleek body, and they are made of some sort of tar. According to the wiki, they go back and forth from being a solid to a liquid. I don't know how that works. I couldn't find any images online that accurately depict that. And by the way, I should have made this more clear earlier in the video, but level 0 is obviously more surface level backrooms lore than levels 1 and 2, and this is like such an in-depth thing. I don't know if I can cover absolutely everything in this video, but I'm gonna try to. Anyways, they don't have any bones or muscles. They kind of just move like a zombie while like dripping gray liquid from their bodies, and these guys are hostile. If you get too close to them, they'll like pull you in with their like long arms and drag you in to eat you. It's kind of crazy how they do things, but yeah. Moving on, this is probably the scariest out of all of them. We have the skin stealers, and these guys are big. They're humanoid creatures, and according to the wiki, they wear the skin of their victims as a disguise. That alone already has everything I mentioned previously beat. Luckily though, they're not that hostile unless you aggravate them. Oh, and except for when they're hungry, that's when they'll try to seek you out and kill you. These guys are tall and they're pale, and their skin is covered with bumps, and they pump blood into the flesh they wear from the humans they killed. I know, weird, right? They do this to keep the skin from decomposing, to make it feel more natural and alive. They can also speak, but they can't understand any language. They just repeat anything they hear, almost like a parrot. So let's say you're walking through the halls or something, and you hear a skin stealer like say something. It's hard to tell if it's another human or a skin stealer because they mimic the sounds of another human, hence why you have to go see it to find out. Also, there's something else I forgot to mention earlier in the video, is that there's like thousands of levels to the backrooms because it's a community ran thing. There's no set in stone amount of levels, they just keep being made and generated. So for literally anybody, it would be impossible to cover every single level because there's just so many of them. Anyways, moving on to level 2. This level doesn't really have much more in comparison to level 1. The only real notable difference is the environment, but a lot of the monsters are the same. This level is called Pipe Dreams because it takes place in the maintenance hallway, and honestly, this one you probably won't survive survive it, and that's because the heat from the pipes reach up to 200 degrees Fahrenheit and higher. Like, come on, that's killing any human, unless you have some sort of suit that you can wear, like a cooling suit that prevents you from dying from like a heat stroke or something. There are also doors that lead to small rooms that contain machinery and are connected to pipes throughout the level. So if you didn't make it to Earth from level 0, you were probably going to end up in this level and like not survive, because yeah, you're just not. Again, unless you have some sort of cooling suit. And if you somehow happen to survive this, you'd probably get killed off by one of the creatures, because on this level they're like incredibly hostile, at least from what it seems in comparison to level 1. This level has monsters such as facelings and hounds, but they also have these creatures called smilers, and they only appear in the dark and they just stare at you with like bright glowing eyes and super sharp teeth. They don't have any real bodies, but the darkness they hide in is their bodies, and they're attracted to light, and they'll lunge at any light source they see. They lean towards more being passive, but if you make any sudden movements, they'll become highly aggressive. So if you do see one, it's best to just stare it down and back away slowly, but do not blink. And again, that's even if you survive long enough to encounter one of these. And that wraps it up for level 2. You can actually play the Backrooms. There's a few games on Steam. There's a bunch of games on Roblox. There's one notable one that just came out recently called the Backrooms 1998. I've been seeing a bunch of content creators make videos on it. I had a crowbar.
Alright, W key though, bro. W key.
Now I gotta go past.
What is that?
What's that? Where you got dip?
Do not look behind you. Do not look behind you. Do not look behind you.
Do not look behind you.
Look behind you. Look, you gotta do it now.
Do a quick 360.
Yeah, quick 360, bro.
Oh, we did it.
We're good.
Ben, I greatly appreciate you for bringing me back to that gym, bro.
I'm saying, bro, that shit is.
Stop talking. Stop talking.
Wait, I hear that. It's in my left ear.
Oh, you're breathing, bro. Control the breathe.
Stop talking, Isaiah.
Stop, Isaiah!
No.
Follow
hear those.
the
I hear those
painting.
shits.
Follow the pacing. Run.
Isaiah, it looks like you have to find the things in the painting.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yo, we need a locker. We need a locker, bro. We need a locker bad.
Oh my goodness. Isaiah's done for. Isaiah's done for.
Control the breathing, bro.
Hey, you see that to the left, right?
Hey, breathe in and breathe out, bro. Breathe in and breathe out.
God.
Breathe in, breathe out.
Ouch.
Yo! Oh my god,
What's good, YouTube?
Oh my god, man. What's good? YouTube back at it again with another reaction video.
Oh my god.
Reacting to Flight vs. GOIs. God. Gazer. That Flight vs. GOIs, but it's actually like horrible. You gotta hit a fab left, bro.
Pausing is insane.
That left.
Yo! Yeah, that's what you're done, bro. Oh my god, shit, you didn't do that shit. It's crouch, bro. Stop, please stop! Oh my gosh, it's actually. Yo. Oh, you're 13 HP, bro.
Oh my god.
Dang, bro.
Dude,
How did you
I did not mean to whistle. I did not mean to whistle. I did not mean to
Wait,
whistle.
did your health not go up, bro?
Oh wait, that was you listening?